Welcome back to another edition of Allie J Live School Bus Edition. I know it's a little darker this time, so it's kind of hard to see the school bus, the inside of the school bus, but yeah, I'm here on another school bus trip for a sporting event, and yeah, just decided it'd be a great time for another live episode of Allie J Live. So, I mean, they're all going to be live. That's why it's called Allie J Live, right? So I hope you're having a great start to your week. Well, it's the middle of the week now. It's hump day, as they call Wednesday. But, so I have a lot on my mind right now. There's just between other things like that. Yeah, there's just been a lot of things. I just want to clear up because there's some false information going around. I mean, it's half-truths, I should say. Half-truths going around about some things that are happening with Donald Trump, and things that are being taken out of context, and other things like that. So I just want to clarify a few things for you. So I've expressed my heart a little bit on the topic of abortion and other things like that, and I just want to talk a little bit about those things, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions going on, and I just want to clarify some things. But first of all, I want to clarify some things on this live video feed. I've been getting some interesting comments on YouTube Live, and I just want to clarify that I will not be referencing any of these comments or making any comment about them. So you're free to leave comments as you see fit, but I will not tolerate inappropriate stuff. If anybody is posting inappropriate stuff, I know there's some trolls that come on these live videos and start posting inappropriate things. Saying hello is fine. I don't mind that, but the other comments I don't really appreciate. But so I just wanted to, I don't know where to begin, because there's a lot of things that have been weighing on my mind concerning this whole thing with Donald Trump signing these executive orders and other things like that. So, first things first. The one that has been the most hot topic right now is DEI. Now, there may be aspects of DEI that are okay, but in the long scheme of things, DEI is also very dangerous, because, as we have seen, people are being put in positions that they are not fully qualified for the sake of diversity or equality or whatever you want to call it. Now, here's the thing. The thing that I have been seeing in recent weeks, in the last week or so, is that people are saying that DEI should remain in place because of people with disabilities. Okay, first of all, the Americans Disability Act was put in place for this very reason, not DEI. DEI was more of a political stunt that was put in place to try to force companies and force the country to look more diverse in its workplace and other areas of that sort. yes, there is an aspect that has to do with disabilities in DEI, but it's DEI is a broad umbrella. And it also, really kind of pushes the whole, the trans thing, the whole, homosexual thing. And if a person is qualified for a job, they should get it. But this is just my personal opinion, and a lot of other people's personal opinion, that it should be the person most qualified for the job, not somebody getting a job just because of the color of their skin, or because of how they look, or because they have a disability. No offense. I mean, I am a person with a disability, and everybody knows, everybody that knows me knows that I would not want preferential treatment for a job, getting a job just because of my disability. I want to get a job because I'm qualified for it. Like this. I never, ever in a million years thought I'd be driving a bus. But I was able to qualify for it by passing the tests and showing that I was capable of doing it. Even when I thought maybe I couldn't do it. But I did it. Also, somebody made a comment about, DEI being part of the whole, I don't know, like the whole, DEI is like being part of the whole idea of putting all these things, like accessible things in this, like for the sidewalks and whatnot, making things accessible. That's not 100% true, because the ADA, that was part of the America with Disabilities Act, to make public venues and public spaces more accessible to people with disabilities. That really had no bearing on this whole DEI. DEI is something a little newer, whereas the ADA has been around for a good while now, and they've been making efforts to make public access more accessible to people with disabilities for quite some time now. They've been working on it for a number of years. I remember when they started changing the sidewalks to put that kind of stuff in, and for blind people, for all these accessible things, like for red lights, for crossing signs, and other things like that for people who are hearing impaired and like that. And then putting started making the subways more accessible. That's been a work in progress since I was in college. They were working on doing that when I was in college down in Philadelphia. And it's not necessarily a false statement about the DEI thing, but it's also not 100% true, because the Disabilities Act was what spurred on a lot of those things. So I just want to clarify that for you. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, so if you have any questions about that, like the Americans Disability Act, DEI, all that kind of stuff, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll do some research and get back to you on if I can find answers to your questions. I also have some friends that are a little bit more knowledgeable on this stuff than I am. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to kind of clarify that, because I did do some research on the ADA and DEI, and just to kind of clarify that DEI is a broad umbrella And getting rid of DEI is not going to affect the ADA, just so we are clear on that, okay? I just want to make sure we're clear on that. The ADA is here and here to stay, and it's been being implemented for a number of years, whereas DEI is a bit different. It's a very broad spectrum for inclusion, equality, all that kind of stuff. And it in some ways was infringing on businesses' rights, like your private businesses, your trying to force places to, whether it was hire so many women to make it look more diverse between men and women, or hiring, just different things to that extent. So, because I've heard some different stories about companies that were forcing, they were implementing they had to have such a percentage of women in the workplace. Even though it was a predominantly male workplace, because of the type of work it was, males are just genetically more capable of certain jobs. It's the honest truth. Men and women are not the same. Yes, we are all mankind, but men were created one way and women were created another way. I'm not saying women can't do certain jobs that men can do, but I'm just saying that the whole idea is a little, the whole idea of it is that they're trying to force this stuff when it should be up to the companies. And I know there are corrupt companies out there that they may discriminate on certain grounds, but why do we have to create laws to... Okay, here's another thought. We are creating laws to try and force morality on people. How does that usually work? Not very well. You have the liberal media, Democratic Party, the Socialist Party, and all that kind of stuff that don't want things like Christianity incorporated into government rights to believe what they want to believe. But yet, you have something like this where it's doing basically the same thing. It's trying to tell people how they should think. Oh, you have to agree with this. You have to do this. So, in a sense, they're doing basically the same thing. As a Christian, I want the freedom to be able to speak without persecution, which thankfully we have here in America, and thankfully the social media outlets are now lifting a lot of their community as far as their guidelines that are restricting the message of Jesus Christ, that have restricted in recent years. But there are a lot of countries where you can be killed for your faith. You can be killed for a lot of things in certain countries. And we have it so good here in America. But we take that for granted. So that's just a little side thought that I had. But I just wanted to clarify those things about DEI and ADA for those who were confused what the difference was between ADA and DEI. So there you have it. Another thing is this is just more of a personal. So, I've been driving bus and van and things like that for a while now, and I've been seeing so many things on the road as far as like people, whether it's running stop signs, running red lights. I just saw somebody run a red light blatantly today in my hometown. And then this is I thought I had seen it all until I saw this today. I was stopped at a red light in front of a gas station, and I was in the left-hand turning lane, and someone was pulling out from the gas station onto the road, and the light was red. The light was red for both lanes, for the turning lane and this person sitting at the entrance/exit of the gas station decides that they are going to pull out in front of me. I was in a school van, by the way. They decided they were going to pull out in front of me at the red light, sit in the intersection waiting for the light to change, just so they could get ahead of me. Unbelievable. I was like, I thought I had seen it all, and I was like, now I've seen it all. A little bit. I haven't seen it all, but you know, that to me was just so, if someone had come around the corner from the other light that was green, they might have hit her. And I was just like, wow. Or if a tractor trailer truck had come around the corner or something like that, they would have been right in the middle of the road and in the way. But anyway, I digress. I just, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff on the road since I've started driving, and I don't really get mad at it anymore or upset with it anymore. I just kind of sit back and am amazed. I am astonished. I don't know what the right word to use is, but it's pretty incredible to see what people will do on the road. I just want to give a little PSA for school bus drivers and van drivers. Not for school bus drivers, for van drivers, but on behalf of school bus drivers and van drivers. We have just as much right to be on the road. Yes, we may go a little bit slower at times. We may have to make stops at times. But put people's lives at risk just to get in front of a bus or a van. There's no reason whatsoever. Like, you are literally putting your own life and the lives of the kids or the other people that are driving on the road. When you run that stop sign or that red light just to get in front of a bus or a van, you are putting lives at risk. And it's astonishing to see how people are, like, they don't care. They don't care. I don't know. I mean, it's amazing. It just amazes me. So anyway, so yeah, this is Allie J Live, the school bus edition. I know you can't really see the school bus, but it's because it's getting dark out there. But thankfully I'm under a light, and yeah, it is the first basketball game should be starting right now. So I think I've got a couple hours to wait. I'm gonna try and find some food and hang out, do whatever. I want to try and find a way to get to that restaurant that's right down below the parking lot here, but there's a fence around the parking lot, and so I'm gonna try and find a way to walk around and find out how to get to it. So anyway, I know there's a lot of disagreements going on right now in the public circle of politics and just everything, but I think for those who are, firm believers in Jesus Christ, we have a mission here on earth. And that mission does not change no matter who's in office. It stays the same. And if you're watching right now and you have never read the Bible, never, heard any good teaching on what it means to be a child of God, I would encourage you to reach out to someone, ask questions in the comments or anything like that. To be a Christian, a child of God. Life is short. We have seen this with the airplane crashes. That was another thing I was going to talk about. We've seen that with the airplane crashes. I literally cried a little bit when I found out about the plane that crashed in Philadelphia. I mean, the plane that crashed in Washington, D.C. was very devastating and also broke my heart. But when a child is involved, like was involved with the airplane crash in Philadelphia, it hit close to home. One, because it was in Philadelphia, and two, it was a patient from a hospital, and three, it turned out it was a spina bifida patient from Mexico. So, needless to say, it hit close to home for me, and it really was shocking to hear about it. But and I had just been down in Philadelphia the day before. I believe it was the day before. I was just down in Philadelphia at the hospital. So that was very devastating and sad. And also the plane in Washington, D.C., I couldn't fathom, thinking about all the people that were on board that plane, and then the three military members. It just, wow. I don't know. We live in a world where life is uncertain. Life is uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty. And we have to be ready, because we never know. We never know what tomorrow will bring. I, for one, have tried to live my life to a point where I'm ready. I've had a lot of uncertainty in my life. For those of you who don't know who I am, I was born with spina bifida and another thing called cloacal exstrophy, which has resulted in a number of abdominal surgeries and other things over the years. Thankfully, for the last, I don't know, 7 years, I have gone without, I have gone without having to have major surgeries. And on my right foot in 2019, it was because of a sore, but I won't get into that. But that was the last, if you want to say bigger surgery I've had in 2019, and I've gone this many years. Yeah, I've had some ups and downs, some things along the way, but by God's grace, and I have been fairly healthy, other than just some underlying conditions that have been a little persistent and kind of progressing, which is why I'm having this procedure on Friday. So I would appreciate your prayers for that. I'm having this procedure on Friday, and they are hopeful that it will alleviate some of the issues that I've been having over the last few years that have progressively gotten worse with my stomach issues and things like that. Thankfully, I'm in a good place right now. We're going to try and figure out a way to hopefully alleviate that issue permanently because I mean they hope it's permanent, but they never know, because of all the past surgeries I've had, they don't know whether it could be from adhesions, like if I'm having issues with adhesions or things like that. So there's always the possibility that this could just be a temporary fix and then need a more extensive fix down the road. But I'm praying that this will, I would praise the Lord for even just a year without having that issue at all. It would be such a blessing to go even just a year without having the issue. And I'm just going to take just praise the Lord for whatever he allows, and I'm praying for healing, and I know there's others out there who are praying for healing. And I really appreciate it. So I just wanted to share that and share some things that were on my heart from the events of the last week and the start of the new month. And I really appreciate everyone, the support, the prayers, and everything that goes on with everyone who watches my show. And like I said, I'm still we're going to do some studio Allie J Live, so keep an eye out for that. We'll let you know ahead of time. Once I have the guests lined up, I will let you know ahead of time when it's going to air, so that way you can tune in. And hopefully here soon, maybe I'll break out the guitar and play some music and talk about the band a little bit. Yeah, I guess I haven't talked about the band for a while, but the Allie J Band, we've been kind of on a break over the winter. And our guitar player Dave Hewlett, him and his family are preparing to go to Chile to do some mission work and to live down there for a period of time. And the plan right now is to kind of go back and forth from here in the United States to Chile, for various reasons, which I won't talk about, but so that's their plan right now. And I appreciate everything that Dave has done with the band, and he is going to continue doing when he's around. And I have some other people that have agreed to help out in the absence of other people, or even just to bring them on just for the fun of it. And we are still looking for a permanent bass player, so if you know anyone, or maybe if you know yourself, that made no sense. I would love to talk to you, and maybe we could work something out. We'll see if anybody reaches out. Just yeah. All right, well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today here on Allie J Live. I am Allie J, and here's a little tease, I guess you could say. I'm working on making some Allie J Live and Allie J Band apparel. I already made an Allie J Band hat. We've never had any hats before, but I also am using the new Allie J Live logo, and I'm going to make a hat and hopefully a t-shirt, and maybe you'll see me wearing them soon here on Allie J Live. And I'll probably take some requests if anybody wants one. like a shirt or a hat or whatever, we'll probably do it. Just make them as they're ordered, and we'll go from there. So that's kind of the plan right now. I'm not really like starting a store or anything, because that would just, I'm not going to invest a whole bunch of money into making a whole bunch of shirts and hats and then, they just sit around. So that's kind of the plan right now. Same for the Ally J Band. We're going to have some new merchandise for the Ally J Band, and it's going to be kind of a make it as it's ordered type deal. And I'll be showing off some of that stuff very soon. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go try and find something to eat here, and it's starting to get pretty dark. So I think I'm going to head out, and I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time right here on Ally J Live. Have a great night.